Who's that peeping through my window? Pow.
Pow.
Nobody now. What's up, y'all? What's up? Y'all already know who it is. It's us, the trio. You know what I'm talking about? We back with another episode. We got something to talk about today. We got something that we want you all to be very, very involved in the comments. Whenever you see this, whenever you hear this, we need you thinking. We need you responding because this is a great conversation. So, you already know, you tapped into the Fiyah Session, no scripts, just the truth. It's February, y'all. So, y'all already know we celebrating Black History Month all month. So, y'all know what we about to do? We about to heat it up. Made some chat GPT characters, you know what I'm saying? Head ass. You know what I'm saying? Everybody on social media, all of them down my timeline today.
All of them, right?
Man, that's all I've been seeing all day is characters. Chat GPT, people putting in stuff that they do for a living, what Chat GPT thinks they do. And some of y'all was lying. Some of y'all, it should have had some coke on there or something like that. Because some of y'all snort coke and things like that. And y'all lied to Chat GPT because that was not on your picture.
Foot pics and
Lord. So that's what's going on. Because I don't frequent Facebook like that. I'm literally only on there like for y'all and talking to y'all and kind of like little stuff. So I went to like get ready for today, and I seen somebody like say they thought he was an Italian something, and I like looked at it and gave it like this look, and then just was like whatever. So that must be what's happening. Okay, got it.
It's an abundance of AI pics out there, and everybody running with it. But it's quite interesting.
Yeah, no doubt. But y'all know we like to have fun, so y'all continue to do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Continue to post those lies. I mean, those pictures.
Those lies. You said,
I mean, some of them might be true. Some of it might be true.
All that you could be.
Yeah. I saw some with some amazing teeth, and some of y'all don't have amazing teeth. So you know what I'm saying? It wasn't quite accurate. So, I mean, hey, you know what? It's about having fun. So let's have fun today.
Right? I told y'all robot chick is gonna take over. People want to live in a fantasy world.
You always take this to like
we're not talking robots today.
No one.
I mean, they look like some robots on them pictures. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're gonna leave the robots alone. So before we jump into the fire, y'all, because we got a lot to talk about today. We gotta make sure our people good. Trisha Michelle, you good today?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Let me just say, like,
you don't feel old today?
I was just gonna say I'm good, but the shoulder still is jacked up. But outside of that, I'm good. I mean, at this point, what is life? We're here.
It's to be lived.
She got that lean shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day,
she was swinging on too many people.
Yes.
So
she was bouncing right and left and letting her shoulder lean.
I
you know what I'm saying? She was doing it too much.
I was just leaning.
She was jabbing like she been jabbing like Shakur did Tio, and who you been leaning on?
If you see me make a little face, because the pain just randomly makes me want to be like, it ain't because Benji said something dumb, although.
Leaning on folks.
It might be.
It might be. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Who she done gave a 2-piece for leaving something stanky in the refrigerator?
Dang, we down abusing the kids.
Facts. All right. So Benji Banks, the man, the brand. You good, my guy?
Man, I'm good, man. I ain't got nothing to complain about, dog. God has been exceptionally good, man. I got a couple employees I need to let go, but other than that, we're straight.
Man,
enjoy them taxes because you won't be. Never mind, I can't.
Say, man, hold up.
Hey, now we can't party on the firing because that people still got to take care of individuals.
Yeah.
They got to
Listen,
provide.
man.
So what
Yeah.
one person's pleasure might be their hell. So we're not gonna party on it. But if they gotta go, they gotta go.
They got to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, this is the tough part of running a small owned Black business. But yeah, we straight. Other than that, we cool. Sound tech, just everything just kind of flowing, kind of how your boy was. So I ain't tripping.
all right, yeah, everything going good for me, man. It's just it's the weather is amazing here in Dallas this week.
Finally,
Yeah, we ain't got no ice and snow and everything, so that's good. We can get out and move around a little bit because people from other parts of the country say snow and ice here, and they're like, oh, we have snow and ice all the time. Well, we don't, and it's shut down here. So, you know what I'm saying? We back to be out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? Trying to see what's going on in this world and enjoying life. So, you know what I'm saying? It's been a good week so far, for sure.
out in the streets like an oil stain, huh?
Man, a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So, February is Black History Month. You already know that. So, we wanted to celebrate with episodes devoted to Black classic movies all month long. Each episode this month of February, we will have a different theme. This week, this episode, today, we are doing hood classics. Right? So let me give you an example of hood classics, right? So when people don't get it twisted, we're not just talking about any Black movie. We're talking about hood classics. We're talking about movies like Boyz in the Hood. We're talking about movies like Menace to Society, Juice, Paid in Full, Belly, New Jack City, etc.
Let me ask you a question though, fam.
Mm-hmm.
Does the Mac make it to this list of hood classics? I need to know this.
Well,
because
if
it's important.
It could make your list because you was alive in the 70s. So it could make your list.
There you go. I just want to know. Just want to make sure.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's list is their own, right? Like I enjoy blaxploitation movies to the fullest, but that wasn't my wheelhouse. It wasn't my thing. I wasn't around in the 70s. So, I mean, those movies didn't make my top top of my list. But they,
I forgot
they
I'm the
dope
OG
movies.
on this. I forgot I'm the old person on this.
I don't see how you forget.
I don't know. My bad. I forgot. I am. Yeah, but that's okay though. That's okay.
So, Pawpaw, whatever you see fit as your time back in my day, whatever works.
We used to walk 5 miles in the snow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hilarious. So, I mean, with a hood classic, the reason why I listed, some of those movies so people can get an idea of what we're talking about, because there's an amazing list of Black movies that we grew up, looking at and, learning from. But that's really what it boils down to, right? Like they kind of say movies that kind of raised you, movies that you looked at, you know what I'm saying, as a kid, and you like, man, I really like this movie for one reason or another. Right. And that's what we're here today to talk about, why you like those movies, why they meant so much to you as a kid, and also as an adult now looking back at those movies, what type of things did you learn from those movies? What type of things did, because some of us still look at those movies from time to time.
Facts.
And when you go back and look at those movies now, you see stuff and you're like, wow, wait a minute.
Yeah, facts.
As a parent, I understand that totally different than I did as a kid. So that's what we kind of want to talk about, the impact of these movies, because, everybody's list is going to be different and everybody's suggestions is going to be different. So we respect everybody, but we got our list. We got our top 3 and we're going to be talking about those. So chime in the comments. Let us know your top 3 hood classics. And maybe they make our list. Maybe they don't. Maybe we get a chance to talk about them. But if we don't get a chance to talk about them, continue the conversation in the comments and with each other. And then we'll see the comments after the show as well. So let's get this thing going. So we already talked about what qualifies as a hood classic, but when people talk about a classic movie, we're not talking about the movie that sold the most at the box office all the time, right? We're talking about what impact it had on the streets per se, on you as a person, on your friends, the movies that everybody still talks about today. So I'll go first, right? So my top 3 I went back and forward. You know what I'm saying? This was not easy by any stretch of the imagination because I felt so bad because I had to eliminate so many movies. Yeah. My top 3, Menace to Society is number 1 on my list, and there's a reason for that, for sure. Boys in the Hood is number 2, and New Jack City is my number 3. All those movies were movies that we watched numerous times. I mean, when I tell you numerous times, my cousins know numerous times. I think the only movie we watched more than these was maybe Friday. But that's a hood classic, but that's still kind of like a comedy. So we'll talk about that one next week when we talk about the comedies. But Menace to Society, man. A lot of people know that movie. You know O-Dog, you know Kane, you know the storyline, but very impactful movie, man. So let's hear some of these other lists, and then we'll take a deep dive into why we chose, you know what I'm saying, our list. So Trish Michelle, what's your top 3?
Well, you know, it's so funny when we dive into these, me and you tend to have, even when we did music, similar options. The only difference was New Jack City, which when you named it still, I was just like, man, because that's, yeah. So I got Boys in the Hood. I got Menace to Society and Paid in Full. So those are my 3. With Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood is like that for number 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my 3. And it was funny is for me, when I was younger, and we get into all of that, I didn't even want to watch none of these movies.
What?
So we're gonna get into that.
Right.
When we get into that, I don't know if that's, you know, but we'll get into that. But unless you want me to tap into it now, but I didn't want to.
I mean, you can hold on to it. It's cool. It's cool. I'm interested to hear why, because with the hood classics, like we were clamoring to look at them, like we were begging to look at them, right? So like when we heard they were coming out, my parents refused to let me go to the movies and see it, of course. But as soon as it came out on VHS, oh boy, we were looking at them every day like they were the stories, like they were daytime stories. We were looking at them every day. So we knew those movies front and back. We knew the lines. We knew what was going to happen, but we still were, you know, captured by you know the movie, the storyline, and everything, so on and so forth. So yeah, but I'm interested to hear that. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that. Benji Banks, top 3, my guy. The Mac in your top 3.
Yes, sir.
It is Mac, for sure. You know it is.
Yes, Mac, Colors, and New Jack City. So go ahead, Ken. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna say the Colors speaks to me. It didn't make my top 3, but it's definitely in my top movies because listen, I ain't think I was in no gang, but Colors definitely let me know that I didn't want to be in the gang.
Facts. And that's why it kind of really hit my list when I thought about what I was going to add, because the parts that when you get into it, when you start thinking of we growing up in the South, so you know we didn't grow up around Bloods, Crips, all that type of stuff, right? But that gave us a whole nother insight before you even get to Menace to Society and all the other stuff. And I'm sitting there like, yo, and it's kind of this infatuation that you have, the intrigue, and that movie, along with how it came out and who the people were that kind of were instrumental in it, just kind of made you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I dig this. So Mac number 1 is my top, and then I go Colors, then I go New Jack City.
Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting with Colors again, man. Like I didn't grow up with, you know, gangs around in the area where we were, especially, you know, when we were still in Lancaster. There wasn't no Bloods and Crips and stuff like that around. But when I moved back to Oak Cliff, Texas,
yes, sir.
Oh boy, T.W. Brown at Kimball High School, there was plenty of Bloods and Crips.
Everybody was throwing up their flags. You better believe it.
Yeah, and you know, it was new to me to have to go to, you know, a school and not be able to wear certain colors. Like I was like, what you mean I can't wear Cowboys jersey? You know, Cowboys was winning Super Bowls then, so I'm like, everybody had on Cowboys stuff. You couldn't even wear that because you were associated with the Crips. So
now,
I said,
now this was fun. This was funny, Ken, because when we started to get into the colors, folks got into the Treetop Bloods, which wore green.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite colors was green. So when we started to get into that phase, it was like, oh, okay, all right. So then that's when everything opens up and it gets kind of crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask Trisha Michelle this too. See, it was interesting because for us, we looked at those movies like Boys in the Hood, like Menace Society. They took place in L.A., like
Yeah.
in California. You grew up in California,
Right.
so you grew up in those areas or near those areas. So you had a totally different outlook than we had in the South because that was not familiar to us at all.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's what, as I'm listening to you guys, and I'm like, because when I was younger, of course, first, like I was raised very much in the church, so super young. So I didn't even know any of these movies existed. I think the main thing I ever seen was my grandma, and then was watching Harlem Nights.
Right.
Like I seen that when I was like super young. And then when I got into like my teen era where I was doing things on my own and whatnot, and in high school and more exposed to just gang members and what certain colors you could wear, knowing someone died from this or that or whatever, like getting further like in that, then you see these movies and I'm like, I don't want to see that.
Right.
I don't want to see that. I see it every day. Like, so for me, that's why I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see none of it. I don't want to see none of these movies that have anything to do with what I could see outside. So before I knew, what the storylines would go down to and, the stories they told and the lessons you do learn in them, just surface level me was just like, I see enough of that. So that's really why I didn't care to watch them for so long until my adulthood is when I
Oh
really
wow.
watched them. Yes. So when I did watch them, that's when I kind of was like, "Oh wow, okay," because I really protested watching them for so long. I don't know exactly what age I was. Um, might have been 20s when I actually seen them, and then seen
Wow.
them a few times, and then after that, I was like, "Okay, I didn't." Well, this is the whole different. Like, what is that? Color Purple. I just barely seen that probably like 5, 6 years ago fully, and that was because it was so damn long. But I finally made myself watch it fully. But and it's great. I never thought it wasn't great. I just was like, damn. I don't know, maybe
Right.
it's the ADD in me or something. But I was like,
Well,
every time I
you
would
know,
start, I would never get through. But anyway, back to the point. It was so much of just common life being in California and LA. Just it gets to a point where you're just like, I don't want to go
Mhm.
watch a movie about it now.
Right.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Colors was tough though. We'll talk about that on another episode when we get to that category. But Color Purple. I'm sorry, Color Purple was tough because of the subject matters. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And movies like Colors was tough as a kid to watch because it was so violent. It was sexual acts involved and all this stuff. So as a kid, you were looking at it like, okay,
Yeah.
is this what we're supposed to be doing? But Colors and the Color Purple, they have some parallels that we could definitely talk about, and it's a weird parallel. It's a weird combination for us to compare and contrast. But people out there, think about it, right? If you've
Right.
seen both movies, there is some similarities there. But I want to talk about next is, with these movies that we've named from our list and our top threes. Um, Trish Michelle, why do you feel the movies that you selected as your top three mattered culturally? Like, what made them have an impact culturally?
I think especially because when you go through like what was going on at the time when those movies were coming out, it was an era where blacks were taking, just power back into like our society and our narrative and being able to actually express ourselves in our own movies where we don't have to like play a role where we got to water it down and not we were actually getting being able to expose people to what really goes on. So with that going on, it's just like it's magnificent for us as a culture and then for those that aren't exposed to it. So for me, like I said when I was younger, I didn't even know nothing about it, but had I been exposed to it, who knows what story or what those lessons in it might have or have not done for me at that time, because there was a lot of lessons within that. So for me, like things that go on and like the chaos that shapes the outcomes at the end and characters representing different things like in Boys in the Hood and just it doesn't feel fake. It's closer to home for us. So once you see that it's more real than any of the other movies will ever feel to you in the other world, their stuff. Then so they kind of stick. So Menace to Society, like those are different things that it makes you uncomfortable on purpose. So you watch the movie and then you go through it, you go through the lessons and trauma and what happens when trauma goes unchecked and stuff like that. So, I don't know, they stick and I liked it. That's why they're in my thing. Paid in Full goes to show you, how much money can distort loyalty. And that happens every day. So it's like these are real life lessons that you get to watch and relate to, or have something that you can like keep in your head for like future lessons, or when something like pops up. Just there's always some medicine in there,
Facts.
Yep. Let's hear some of these comments right quick. I don't want the audience to feel like we don't see them. Shout out to y'all, man, for coming through, for jumping in these comments. Timothy B from YouTube said that where did his comment go? Oh, okay. Colors, New Jack City, Baby Boy. And from back in the day, he had Cooley High and Warriors. Listen, Cooley High is one of those stories where I think that was really the first movie that I saw. Cooley High and Cornbread Earl and Me were the first two movies that I saw that really made me emotional. Right. It really made me feel like I was in the movie, feel like I was part of the crew. So when what happened to Coach Cheese happened to Coach Cheese, when what happened to Cornbread happened to Cornbread, like I felt that, right? I felt emotional about those things. So I think those type of movies, although they're not in my top three, they still had an effect on me as a kid. Yeah, because those are the first movies, like I said, that I saw that really just pulled at my emotions, right? So I think too, we see a lot of movies that some movies more than others will pull on your emotions, not because you necessarily have experienced it before, but because you get so drawn into the storyline and the characters.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody tell you a good character, man,
and it makes it way too much relatable. Coming from where we come from, so it's like, dang, man, I've witnessed that, I've seen that, and that's the thing that kind of grabs you. So that's where the emotion for me came from. And so
yeah, and Gabe Leal, shout out to my guy Gabe. He said "Do the Right Thing" was one for him.
Right.
That's for sure. "Do the Right Thing" was very had a lot of messages. Had a lot of messages on purpose, because that's just the way Spike Lee rocks, right? Everything Spike Lee does, it's gonna have a purpose. It's gonna have a message behind it. And the more you look at it, I think the more you unfold, or the more you peel back the layers like an onion on the stories that he, puts on film, and the layers of the characters and things of that nature. So it's a lot of movies. It's a lot of movies out there, man. I know. Listen, y'all, I know we're gonna miss some because there's just too many, right? That's why we're asking for y'all help to mention other movies, in the comments, because listen, we can't cover them all, and I know we're gonna miss some, but we trying, y'all. We trying.
Facts.
All right. So Gabe also mentioned that in Colors, Damon Wayans was in there along with Don Cheadle.
Yes.
Damon Wayans, everybody remember that part.
Get my wabbit, man.
I want my wabbit, man. Like, so if you haven't seen Colors, add that to your list. Go watch it. It's a great cinematic piece. It's a great movie with a lot of stars in it that weren't stars then, but they are stars now. So you would do yourself a favor by going and checking that movie out. Any of these movies that we list and you have not seen them, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, put them on your list and go watch them, because they're on one of these they're on one of these platforms, one of these apps. You will be able to find these movies, I guarantee you.
Go watch Master P's I Got the Hookup now.
No, definitely. You laughing, but that movie is
good.
That movie is good, but it belongs on the list for next week. That's a comedy. So
it is good though.
Yeah. So okay, so one thing I want to mention about these movies too is when we were talking about what they meant culturally, they shape music, fashion, and in our language, right?
Yes.
Because some of the words that they were using on these movies, like Menace Society and Boys in the Hood, in the South, we weren't using those words.
Right.
So, when we saw these movies, we were drawn to the language and we were like, that's different. I'm gonna start using that just to try to be different around here because everybody's saying the same thing. And of
That's
course,
true.
the way they dress
Right.
and the fashion and especially the music, the
Facts.
soundtracks for these movies.
Are
Listen,
he?
listen, the soundtrack, if your soundtrack wasn't bumping, it took away from the movie. It just did. Like
That's
your
a fact.
like the soundtrack had to align with the greatness of the movie because there's movies out there with some amazing soundtracks. Above the Rim,
Facts.
that's always talked about. Jason's Lyric soundtrack is a sleeper, I think, for a lot of people. If you don't remember that soundtrack, go look it up. And you can go back to movies like The Mac. That soundtrack to The Mac, what I'm saying, is the basis for a lot of hip hop now. Samples.
You better believe it. You better believe it. You better
So
believe it.
so these movies, shaped what we would know, what we would become to know as, hip hop, or the African American culture in America. And we all know that culture has spread all over the world and is mimicked everywhere.
Facts.
Everything that people are doing out here that's cool is, black culture. It's African American culture. It's most of it stems from the United States, and people are just mimicking it all over the place. And a lot of it comes from these movies, man. These movies exposed a lot of stuff to the world. So,
And
you know what I'm
it
saying?
was a lot of truth into a lot of this stuff that was going out, because some of us weren't exposed to some of the craziness that was going on, and you'd be like, yo, that's really happening. But yeah, it was a movie, but it was real for a lot of us.
Yeah, movie to the world, but that's the stories, not those exact people, but
Right.
this storyline exists somewhere for real in the streets.
We all
Yeah.
had an old dog in our community. I know I had a couple cousins that was the exact same way, and it was like, Lord Jesus. So
Yeah. So okay. So when we're talking about these movies, also, a lot of the movies that we list, of course, because of our age, is gonna be from the '90s, right? But the '90s was very pivotal point in time because it grabbed everybody worldwide, and a lot of the influence still today started from '90s culture, music, the movies, and things that people would see in these movies. So again, it's not the beginning, because to me the black exploitation movies kind of kicked it off as far as, black cinema.
facts.
But the '90s took it to that next level. The '80s had some movies here and there that were great, but when the '90s hit and people like John Singleton like grabbed
Hmm.
hope, and the Hughes brothers, they grabbed hope, and they, were able to elevate it to new levels and put new, actors out there that people had never seen, and introduce new actors to the world that are still in movies and TV to this day.
Facts. And the interesting thing is a lot of these stories, a lot of them are true stories, and they're just copyright some of these movies, and when they put them out there, it just kind of gives you an insight. But what was dope for me though, even off your list, Ken, with New Jack City and even with Menace to Society, was the cool thing is that when you had a family member or somebody that was like really trying to live that life and really wasn't who they was gonna be, who they was, and they were trying to be like that person. That was a little weird when we experienced that, because people try to mimic what they saw for these movies too.
Yeah,
Well,
that is true.
but I mean, that was what we did as kids, right? We saw
Right.
stuff on TV. If you saw something on Star Wars, you wanted to be a character
Facts.
on Star Wars. You wanted to
Right.
be
Yeah.
a character from Transformers. And it just went from cartoons to, to movies as you got older, and you gravitated to these characters and you wanted to be them. So,
Right.
I got a couple of other honorable mentions that, I had to throw in there because I love basketball. I love sports.
Right.
So two of my other movies that were on my list outside of Colors for my honorable mention was Above the Rim,
Yeah.
and the soundtrack is amazing. And Sunset Park doesn't get
Sunset
enough
Park was a
love.
good flick. Yeah.
Sunset Park doesn't get enough love, and I had to go with something from the East Coast, you know what I'm saying, above the rim from the East Coast to balance out, you know what I'm saying, the West Coast love. Now, I know as a kid, I used to always get it, you know what I'm saying, from people around me because they were like, you never talk about any Southern stuff. You're always talking about West Coast stuff or East Coast stuff. Why you don't like Southern stuff? I'm like, man, I love it. I love all of it, but I was just drawn to something different, right? When I saw the different things and I heard the different music, I was drawn to, you know, figure out what was different about, you know, living in California, what was different about living in New York. And these movies gave me what I thought was, you know what I'm saying, that experience vicariously through these characters.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of what if we seen a movie with somebody from New York, like, you know, what's up, son, B, like all that different stuff, you know, that like we all, it's something that we can't travel to because you're not, you know, you're closed minded or small minded at the time, especially as a Black community. You're not thinking about traveling. One day I'm gonna be in New York. I'm gonna go. Like, nah, the movies is what our way to be that, like, you know. And so when you see that, it's the same thing. You live here, so the East Coast is gonna be appealing. There's something you don't know about. You live in the South, you know, whatever, the East Coast, West Coast, that's what you're gonna be like, oh, okay, like this is something that's cool. This is different. This is whatever. It's exciting. Like that's normal. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Facts.
All right. So let's go back to your top 3, right? I got questions. So we're gonna go Benji first with this one. With your top 3, your number 1 movie. Give me 1 to 2 scenes, defining scenes in that movie that makes that movie your number 1 movie.
Well, for me, with the Mac movie, one of the best scenes is when Goldie is talking to the white chick, and this, baby, I want to be everything to you. And he's literally running down, like giving her game, like I want to be your mommy, your daddy, your aunt. Like he's giving game. Like that was something that I saw on a regular basis in the household I grew up in. So to see it on TV, like I was a young fella. So to see my brothers and my cousins, even my aunts, all of them, when you would hear their phone conversations, you know, you just ear hustling. You get what I'm saying? Like you hear them spitting game. You get what I'm saying? You hear the wordplay. You hear like what's going on back and forth, whether they're talking to somebody of high stature or low stature. You wanted them on your team, so you went into wordplay and mode, and you just and that flow was like, yo, like this is crazy. Did my brother really just say that? Did my aunt, did she really just say that to so and so? And again, I was just ear hustling, and that always was like super dope. So to see hit that space was dope. But then the second part is the scene where the chick chooses Goldie, and the pimp at the time is Dirty Mackin against Goldie. And you know, he's like, wait a minute, your girl chose me. But like, hold on, wait a minute. You know, he really keeps everything super, super, super cool. While this dude is literally trying to downplay him about, you know what I'm saying, your car, you're a car thief and you're this. And he goes into his flex mode. You get what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. I dropped $30,000 for this. And he goes through his whole phase and he's like, in terms of like, now can you buy that? And he just really just kind of throws it back on him. And that to me was always something that us growing up as kids, I saw it on a regular basis. Like when my brother pulled up in the baby blue Cadillac on chrome Dayton's, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's, bro, like, this is what we do. This is how we do it. Can you do this? And he's talking to his partners and all of that. And that was just something that we saw. So that was always relatable. So those two scenes were always something that was super dope for me.
Okay, so with that movie as well, do you think that movie can be made in 2026?
Yeah, actually,
remake it?
I think they did kind of do like a similar one to it. It's called Superfly, and it was an Atlanta-based movie. It's not super old. I believe it came out in the 2000s, but I believe it could in terms of the way it can be presented. And I mean, truth be told, pimping ain't ever going anywhere, bro. It's just it's what America is, if we're going to be honest. So of course I can't. Will it be something that I think someone will record and take the risk to do as a high profile movie? I don't think so, because it's going to come with a lot of backlash in terms of the era that we're in. So, but can it be remade? Of course.
All right. Trisha Michelle, talk to us. You're number one. One or two defining scenes from your top hood classic.
Okay. Number one, so Boyz n the Hood. I mean, so it's gonna be when Ricky got killed. It's just the scene that changed everything. Like, it just takes like the scene is crazy. I remember watching it, and you just, like you said, the build up, the investment, like the hope, and your heart just drops. It just shows you how fast like life could be taken. There's no, there's no build up. There's no music. There's no it's coming. Like, how they got the little villain music. Nothing. Like, you just like, oh my God, right? And I mean, it just kind of just lets you know like how it is still kind of part of today in society. Now, I won't even say kind of, it's definitely still part of society today. Innocent people just getting killed or dying over stuff that started, or that's something that's way bigger than them, and it's you just can't get away. So I mean, that's me. That's my scene in that movie. Like, everything else that was going on, all the gunplay, the gameplay, like all that, like just that scene, like just takes you to something just real. Like, it just makes it raw. So that's mine for me. That's the scene.
You know what? And that scene is funny because number one, right now on social media, that music from Boyz n the Hood is trending.
Oh yeah.
the horns on everything.
Yeah.
That's trending. But that scene with Ricky bothers me as an adult, because I'm like, my brother, you a running back. Top rated running back. You ain't do a juke. You ain't do
nothing.
you
ran
straight in a straight line, brother. Like, you couldn't give me one shimmy move.
But
nothing.
I think we all say that though. In any movie we see anybody just run straight, it's like,
what are you doing? Like, right?
Ain't life ever taught you nothing? Like,
you didn't get your gazelle on?
Man, moves, something, duck. I don't know.
But like they say, hindsight is 20/20. We all have that, if what we would have done in that scenario, but we don't know. We don't know what it we don't know what it feels like to be in that specific scenario that he was in that alley, and
how we would react.
Feel boxed in, and I mean, I've been shot at a couple times, to be honest with you, with bullets whizzing past my head, so I know how fearful, how that fear feels, right? But I don't know how that specific, situation feels. And we were blessed to get away from it. So, but that still bothers me though. I'm like, Ricky, come on now. You're a running back, top rated, juke or something.
Now I want to know, why did they take the boy to the mama house instead of to the hospital?
Listen, he was already dead.
Yeah,
they've been talking about that on social media. Like he was already dead. So I mean, why would you take him to the hospital? For them to do what?
I mean, I don't know, man.
Like, we know that now. That would be the move now. But back then, like,
you gotta think about hood, street. Like, nothing goes to the hospital first.
Facts.
So you think you got them? You got street mentality there. When something happened, you don't go there first, and it was hood stuff, it's gang stuff. Like you
would get the police would have been involved.
Yeah, so didn't they get their minds together and they like, oh, okay, bet whatever. But that's where you take them.
Very true.
And then the rap songs I heard from LA and from those areas, they always talk about Killer County. So you know what I'm saying, the county hospitals, they say county hospitals is worse. The county hospitals are worse.
Right? How do you know this?
Why do you take them to the hospital and they kill people anyway?
If you take him to Killer County, he wasn't gonna make it anyway.
See what I'm saying? So it's like, might would take him home. You know what I'm saying? So at least you know what I'm saying, you got
Let
that.
his mama hug him again one more time or something. Because
that's it.
Here we go.
So that's the logic behind that. And shout out to Mama for having the plastic on the couch. You know what I'm saying? So
facts.
Hey,
that was the black household. That's a black household.
Full circle was a moment, and it worked.
Don't y'all mess up my couch.
Facts.
That was facts.
All right. So Menace had a lot of great scenes, but there are two scenes in that movie that really stood out to me. So let me get philosophical for a minute and break it down to y'all why I love it. All right. So my number one scene was Sharif's dad was talking to them in the park, right?
Yeah.
And he stated that if Buddha or Allah can make my son a better man than Jesus Christ, I'm all for it. As a
Facts.
kid, I didn't understand that, right? Because growing up, Christian and being a Christian, like all I know is Jesus Christ. I don't know about that other stuff. I don't want to be
Right.
involved with that other stuff. But what I didn't understand is when your kids grow up, your kids make decisions.
Right.
And sometimes you don't agree with those decisions, but you have to decide whether you want to continue to push your child in a direction that might be dangerous for them, or do you want them to just be a great person in this world and be a safe and be a driven person, right? So you got to make some decisions, and you have to allow your children to make decisions, right? And that's one thing I got from that scene was you might not be, what I'm saying, on board with your children's decisions, but as long as it's good for them and it's making them a better person, then you kind of gotta, what I'm saying, bend and, kind of, give on some stuff. So, that was my number one scene from that movie. And that's what I
Yeah, that's
got.
real.
Because as a kid, I didn't understand what that scene meant and why it was so important. But
Yeah.
as I watched it over the years, and as a dad now, I completely understand what he was saying.
Right.
All
Yes,
right.
and
So
that's why you circle back to and you watching it as an adult, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
Yeah, it makes more
yeah,
sense too.
yeah, facts. So the second scene is when Kane is leaving his grandparents' house. After his grandfather was talking to them, and they leave and they walking away, and Kane's grandfather comes out on the porch and says, "Kane, do you care whether you live or die?" And Kane says, "I don't know." Like
Right.
that was powerful because as a young person, I think you get caught up in so much stuff and you don't know you don't know what you're doing, how to navigate, but you don't want to listen to the adults. It's like you're trying to journey out on your own, but you don't even have a map to, what I'm saying, navigate where
Right.
you need to go.
Right.
So he in that scene, he was just lost. And I think that was that pivotal point where he was like, I don't know. So he continued to do things in such a way that was leading up to, what the movie would ultimately happen at the end.
Right.
Right. And we still don't know what happened at the end. And people was like, we was young, and it's like, it's gonna be a part two. It's gonna be a part two. He didn't
Right.
die. He didn't die because they didn't really show him dying.
Yeah.
They just kind of insinuated that he died. So yeah. So but those are my two favorite scenes from that movie, and why that movie, part of why that movie meant so much to me as a kid, because there was so many quotables from that movie, but those two parts right there stood out to me, and they stood out to me as an adult when I looked at it again.
Facts. That especially
yeah,
that one him not didn't know whether he wanted to live or die. And that just kind of points into the hopelessness that the hood kind of put on a lot of, young kids. You know what I'm saying? Kane, he wasn't old, you get what I'm saying? He's still a young fella, you get what I'm saying? But imagine being in that hopeless state. And that's where we talk about the movies being relatable, because it gave you an insight into what these young black kids were actually dealing with, coming from crack culture, coming from gang culture, coming from all of that. And that was relatable because, again, I've been in that space where it's like, man, I have no idea. I remember saying that to my brother while we was getting high in South Dallas, and it's like, bro, I have no idea at 18, 19 years old. Like, is it worth living? You get what I'm saying? And so I've been there.
yeah,
So to be in that space, when you see it on the big screen and you see it, you're like, yo, this is really something real. And it kind of speaks to you in a different light.
yeah. I had
Right.
a lot of homeboys from the hood since I'm from out this way when I
Yeah.
was growing up, and a lot of them, like, you just seeing their story or being exposed to the stories, because I definitely was a tomboy, so I was around a lot of dudes too. So then you hear them say those things, like they,
Right.
I might not wake up tomorrow. I don't know, like,
Right.
what, and it's true, but it's true for a lot of us. But for them, it's like it's a whole different type of truth, like the life that they're living, and then the lack of like knowing, like, they're not supposed to make it past 18, 21, whatever. Like they in their heads, they're not even making it past that. So they just they live a whole different type of life and their mindset and everything. So they don't care in that moment. They do have a lot, and I guess you kind of have to, I guess, to like live in that world and be a part of that. So it's a little, it sucks to like see it and to witness it and to have been a part of seeing that in someone's life and seeing somebody get taken a couple of different times in that world.
Yeah. Right. And I think for us, growing up, you mentioned like the 18 and 21, there were times in our young lives where, making it to 18 seemed sketchy. Making it to 21 seemed sketchy. And, a lot of people don't understand that fear, especially as a young Black man. That was a real fear of whether I'm going to make it or not, not because I lived in the hood or anything like that. It's just because of what we saw and what we were around, right? Like, you didn't have to be the target of the bullet. You could just be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Wrong time. Facts.
Yeah.
So
that still was a heavy brutality time. Like police brutality was heavy still back then. So
yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned that because around that time, Rodney King and all that had taken place out in Cali. So what I'm saying, the landscape of that was already at a fever pitch and everybody was in an uproar at certain points. So what I want to ask you, Trish Michelle, is with Menace to Society or Boyz n the Hood, do you think that they could remake those movies today and have a similar impact?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so because I feel like society's so watered down by like the social media and cloud and all this other stuff, like the actual reality of like living what it is. So there's still gangs and stuff going on, of course, but it's just not so much of the lifestyle. Like
people are numb to it.
Yeah, like we're so numb to it. Oh yeah, there's gangs. Yeah, okay. Like now the gang is the police. Like so unless it's an actual director like sitting there and they're a person that lived, that actually was a gang member, that came up from it, that like maybe that type of director that's making it because he could speak to the coming out and like going through what's happening now and give us like the transitional phase. Can't nobody do that unless it's somebody like that. So outside of that, I don't think so. I think they should just kind of leave things alone. They should leave all those movies as good classics because there's still lessons in them for the people that can relate and want to go watch them. But nothing current is gonna do that.
And I can totally agree with that because it was new to us being in the South, so it was like culture shock. But like now, I think all these kids kind of have seen it because of social media and stuff like that. So yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah. So what's funny? I don't think that they can make them and have the same cultural impact. But again, John Singleton, the common factor here, made a show called Snowfall. And that show did kind of embody what he put out in Boyz n the Hood. Like there was a lot of similar feel to that show. And of course, because it's in LA. So of course you have that, but it's just the way it was shot and the way the characters were. So it kind of gave you that same feel. So somebody that made those movies back then might be able to embody something like that and pull it together.
Where it'll take that.
It has some cultural significance again to something like that. But you also have to look at, we don't have to, you don't have to have movies on that large scale anymore because people are shooting movies every day. Right, we laugh at Tubi, but Tubi is full of.
I was gonna say there's probably a bunch of them on Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi
right now.
Tubi is full of attempts at making these movies, whether they be good or not. You know what I'm saying? That's up to the viewer. You know what I'm saying? That's subjective. So, it's some stuff on Tubi that some people think is bad, and I think it's entertaining. So,
there's actually some good stuff on Tubi too. You just gotta make your way through it.
Yeah, so there's attempts at it, you know what I'm saying? But I think too, like y'all was saying too, some of this stuff is so watered down, and some of the stuff people see so often because of social media and people going live and videos of these events and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't want to see it in the movies because I can just go to social media and experience it through that medium every day. So yeah, I mean, I think that every so often we will be treated to you know what I'm saying, some more hood classics. I really believe it because it's gonna everything in life comes back around, right?
They'll probably be good with some brutality movies coming up. Somebody made one of those police brutality.
Documentaries seem to be the
Nah,
new
not
thing.
even documentary. They can make some movies about that because right now it's relatable for all races now, ain't it?
Right. Oh,
yeah.
That's a nice little twist.
All right. So
they're getting the Negro treatment out here, huh?
Well, we gonna say they getting inhumane treatment of any sort.
Yeah, because we're not gonna call it the Negro treatment. That's the problem.
That's inhumane for any sort. So,
yes,
but as y'all mentioned, the crazy thing about all these movies and these scenes that we talked about is somebody lived these actual events, right?
Oh yeah,
somebody lived these things.
Yeah,
and that's the thing that really is, touching when you look back at it as an adult, because you're like, dang, it was crazy to see this stuff, but there were kids actually living in the projects and people were shooting every single day. They're walking to school, people are shooting every single day, and they made it. So there are people out there with some amazing stories that I've heard and and some we haven't heard. But shout out to y'all for surviving and making it to adulthood, because a lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't.
That's a fact.
All right, so we want to transition a little bit, and we just because we're doing our movies, right? We're not gonna forget about one of our favorite parts of the show, and that's our Broke Chronicles. All right, so I had to be creative, right, and figure out how to tie in the Broke Chronicles to this episode about Black Hood classics, and I think I did a very good job of it. Okay,
I think I know where you're going.
we'll see. We'll see. So, what's your favorite broke character out of your top 3 movies? Your top 3. Give me one of your favorite broke characters. I want to go first. I want to go first.
Go ahead. I got mine already.
I want to go first. Okay. So my favorite is, of course, Menace to Society, right? Mm-hmm. There is a crackhead who offers cheeseburgers in exchange for crack, right?
Right.
That guy embodied desperation at its highest point.
Yeah.
Because when his offer was declined, he reached the lowest level known to man and offered to show old dog what that mouth do. And it cost him his life. Literally, it cost him his life. See, this is one of those things where when you see drugs being done in a movie, like that character, if you saw that movie and you still smoked crack, oh, you was crazy.
You was crazy.
Because after seeing that guy and his desperation, I was like, I know some crackheads in real life, but after seeing that, I'll never touch drugs in my life.
At this point, I think all the crackheads is doing that. I don't know what you're doing for some crack.
The crackheads still living though, man. You know what's crazy? Crackheads be strong in the mud. I don't know. Yeah. It's something. Listen, I know some crackheads now. I know plenty of them, and they strong than a mug. Well, folks have been through something.
There are functional drug addicts of all sorts.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some crackheads. You are correct. I've seen some crackheads that around the neighborhood that we grew up in by my aunt's house, and they're still alive. But I've also seen some crackheads dead on the side of the store from ODing, like just sitting there, and we've seen that, like with needle hanging out of their arm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a mixture of things, but that scene took the cake for me, because I'm like, he is broke, and he is desperate, and that is a place where I never want to be in my life, because guess what? I am never resulting to something gay in order to pay my bills. Just go ahead and take me, Lord. Go ahead and take me, because I'm not going that far.
Yeah, that's the bottom of the barrel right there.
That's
diabolical.
Hey, let me preface it by saying this too. If you're out there and you're showing people what that mouth do, that's your problem. That's your business, right? Sure. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? If you're a guy and you showing people what that mouth do,
Just the thought alone is insane.
Ken is not going to do that. I'm not going to do anything dealing with another dude that's sexual of any sort to gain anything. So, Diddy, mark me off your list.
He's got a whole different list in the prison, so you ain't gotta worry.
He's gonna be out soon though, and he gonna be out soon, and he gonna be He got. I'm sure he's got some folks that's gonna be on that list when he get out.
All right, Trisha Michelle, can you think of a broke character?
Yours is definitely the top. Like, no pun intended with top, but definitely the top. But I'll go with a Doughboy from Boyz in the Hood, just because he was a loyal broke dude. You know, through the struggle, underestimated, figuring it all out. He was trying to protect what little he had, and that's relatable. When you're broke, it's all you got, but you still can't lose that either. And he was real loyal when he had definitely, didn't have too many opportunities or anything like that. So I fool with that. I fool with his little broke self.
I could dig that.
All right, Benji.
Now, Ken, I thought you was gonna go DVD. Did we ever watch any of these? Because we couldn't go to the theater. We watched them on the hood DVDs. You get what I'm saying? Because the DVD, man, what was it, 5 for $20 or something like that? So
I won't call that Broke Chronicles. I call that I ain't going to the movies.
I'm just saying, and it was a little struggle bus, but
I mean, it could
be.
But...
Pookie on New Jack City.
Yes, sir.
Was amazing. That role, I still say he probably played the best crackhead on any movie I think I've ever seen. The fact that he goes from he's stealing from the feds, then he goes to work for the feds, and then the turkey scene where he gets two turkeys from
busy.
And then he gets a job, and then you get what I'm saying, like, and then he's, it's like he's wilding out, he's broke, he's busted, he's disgusted, he's beating up a woman for a turkey. Give me that turkey sandwich. Like, he was just like Chris Rock played that scene in that movie.
He definitely
like
did, though.
A champ. And that one sticks out to me. So out of all of those movies, for Chris Rock and that was amazing to me. So I got to give him that.
He keeps calling.
Keeps calling. That scene alone is amazing. Like, you can use that in so many skits. It keeps calling me, man. It keeps calling me, man.
Yes.
With your wife.
Some monumental broke characters.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Yeah. I feel like Pookie when it came to honey buns before I was able to break that habit. Because
I feel like Pookie when it comes to this Biscoff no bake cheesecake TikTok trend that they got going on right now.
Oh yeah, Lord! I saw a whole video on that.
I got some in my fridge right now waiting. It's brewing. And it's calling me. It ain't even time for me to eat it, but I want to eat some of it.
Just take you a little piece.
See, that's all I want to do.
That is now. See, I saw a video of somebody making that biscuit. Oh.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna melt some Biscoff and drizzle it over the top.
Yeah. Hey,
all right.
Don't start.
All right, so let me ask y'all this. So the person that it was broke that you picked, would you help them out or let them struggle?
No, I don't remember helping no crackheads. I learned my lesson a long time ago.
I helped mine out. Loyal broke, just trying to protect what you got, trying to get there, trying to make it. Like about this much.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story, and I don't know if I've ever told y'all this.
Hold on, but listen, let me just say this, and then you go ahead, Benji. I ain't helping mine out because I don't want nothing he offers.
I was about to say, if you help yours out, we gonna think something else.
I don't want the cheeseburgers.
Something else. You can't help yours out.
I don't want none of that. So poof, be gone.
He got to go. That's why he got shot. See.
Facts.
I wouldn't have shot him, but he would have had to go.
But I'm just saying.
Trouble.
Now that's probably where his mind went. Like, man, you gotta go.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story that I don't think I've ever told any of y'all, but I'll never forget it. Down in Seagoville, Texas, Ken, we had gotten this spot. Me, my cousin.
Try to show you what that mouth do?
Nah.
I'm like sitting here like, oh no.
I had some G's. I had some money. Like I'm talking about bread, Ken. And I needed to flip something. I need to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? So down in Seagoville, Texas, I didn't know who this dude was. You know what I'm saying? He was a connect that was given to me, and he was a crackhead preacher. And had his own church down in Seagoville, Texas, the whole nine and everything. I didn't know it until after we did the transaction, whatever. Man, this dude, took the money and smoked it up. Do you hear me?
Ooh.
We had to do something dirty to him, but I didn't get my money back. So when I say I ain't helping no crackhead, I don't care who listen, trouble. But we got our due in, but man, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that ever in my life. But no, I ain't helping no crackheads. I'm good on them. Yeah. He stole some good money. Oh, he stole some good money. Oh, he smoked it up, kid. He smoked. This dude smoked up a lot of dope, Ken. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It was one of the most hurtful things I've ever experienced in my life. I'll never forget it.
Well, he needed it more than you, clearly.
That is a fact.
And
he got high as a kite.
And you needed that lesson in order to probably not go down that path fully.
That is a fact.
Exactly, because you was where you shouldn't have been at.
I know it. And I used to say this all the time. Every time, I knew it was, protection. Every time I went into that space trying to do work, something crazy would always happen. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that to this day. That's why I know being in that space wasn't for me for sure.
Facts. I mean, I think we all have something maybe similar to that, because it's things that I've tried to do numerous times and it just didn't never work out, and it didn't work out for a reason, right? So you just have to respect it as that, and like you said, it's protection. God trying to protect me from something that was going to happen, so he just never allowed me to go down that road, and I appreciate him for that.
Facts.
I think that's true, because I said if I ever got flat broke, I'm definitely gonna be out chopping. I'm about to be so I guess God won't ever let me get there. I'm not gonna be kingpin.
I thought you was gonna say OnlyFans.
I thought you was too.
No, I'm a different type of chick. I'm definitely gonna have them naked and chopping it up and stacking it and packing it up and getting it on distributed. Yeah, no.
I thought you should say OnlyFans for real. I was like,
God,
good Lord.
God did not let me be
OnlyFans in the room because it's hot in there because they cooking.
Yeah. Look at the flick of the wrist.
And she said they gonna be naked. She been watching New Jack City. I ain't gonna lie to you though. Low key, New Jack City, when they was in there cooking naked as a little kid, I definitely was rewinding that scene for sure.
He was like, wait a minute, what is that?
Yeah,
it's some over there.
The Tiggos.
Yeah. Some of them was little A cups, but you know what I'm saying? They still had
there was definitely some A cups in there.
Nice little nips. You know what I'm saying?
Either way, it was Tiggos in the room. That was
But that would be me. So God knows.
Yeah.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as we get ready to wrap up, let me ask you all this. So the movies we named, I think I know the answer to this because me and Trisha Michelle had some similar choices. But if you could pick one of these movies that we've mentioned tonight, and in order to maybe show your children and look at it together as a cautionary tale, a teaching tool, which of these movies would you choose to look at with your kids in order to be able to teach them something?
Oh, easy for me. Yeah, it would be New Jack City.
Okay. Why New Jack City? What about that is, it yields it to be a teaching tool?
Because it was something, my story. It was something that I saw, I witnessed. And I think the teaching point to go from nothing to having it because of this product, and then it gives you this amazing lifestyle and all of this. like gives you the clout in the streets, gives you all of that, gives you the bread. You famous around town. Everybody knows your family. They know your mom as top cat. She's running the streets, yada yada. You know, all of that, and then the chaos that ensues from it at the end is one of the greatest teaching points for me. And for me, I would literally want to measure where my kids want to be in life. Which route would you want to take? You don't have to take this route. It might be glamorous for you, and you might not make it out. And some people love the thrill of that, but I would caution them, slow bread is better than no bread. Fast money, it ain't, it feels good when you got it and when you're getting it, when it's coming in. But man, it costs you so much damage. It costs you so much chaos. And I wouldn't encourage them to go down that route. So,
well, in the words of my grandfather, fast money make people act funny. So when you involved in anything that's gonna make money really fast, usually it's gonna be some drama involved. Right. And that would be, if I chose that movie, that would be one of my things to teach my kids, the cautionary tale of who you call friend.
Right.
Because a lot of those people in that movie thought they was friends, but you know, at the end of the day, who will you sacrifice if it comes down to you or them? Sometimes your friends are gonna sacrifice you, gonna throw you to the wolves if it means that they win.
Facts.
So you gotta watch that. So yeah. All right. So Trish Michelle, how about you?
No, Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, because for my kids, I think it's important and very imperative, even to this day, just to understand how fragile life is and how choices we make and the environment we're in and even love, like, all come together and we can make the wrong decision, and how quickly that could come to fruition for it to just be a very bad decision. So just paying attention to our surroundings, being aware, and staying away from that environment in general, hoping they would make better decisions just by being exposed to that and being, like, you know, just being a part of that character and that hope and that seeing that gone. And hopefully they'll feel how I felt.
Facts. All right. So if I go with Boys in the Hood, I would try to show my sons, you can be in an area but not be of that area, right?
Right.
Because Trey was living in that neighborhood, but he was just always different, right? Even when he became fully submerged in that neighborhood, was there every day, living with his dad. And let's not miss the fact that he was living with his dad, and his dad was an amazing dad. His dad was a real man. His dad was smart. His dad was intelligent. His dad
he sure
was a businessman. Like, there's a lot to draw from, you know, Lawrence Fishburne's role in that movie.
For sure.
It was a dope role.
Yeah.
Especially in that day and time, to portray a black man.
Yes.
For sure.
A strong black single father. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, raising this child in the household by himself. Now, he had mother across town. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna dismiss her, you know what I'm saying? But, and then ironically, they would end up being starring, you know what I'm saying, What's Love Got to Do with It Later.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of these movies just kind of tie together. But anyway, you know, there's a lot of dopeness in these movies, man, that we've discussed tonight. And you just gotta go back and take a look at them. If you haven't looked at these movies before, period, again, shame on you. But if you have, and it's been 10 years, 15 years, some of y'all 20 years, go check them out. Like, just take some time, sit back and, you know, take that hour and a half or so and look at the movie again and think about how you view it now as an adult, now that you have kids, now that you've lived life, now that you've seen some things and been through some things.
Yeah.
What can you draw from it now? Because I guarantee you're going to see some things that you didn't see before, that you didn't realize before. So it's going to be a dope experience for you. I truly believe.
You'll see beyond the A cups and New Jack. You'll see everything else that is there.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna see beyond the A cups, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I said, any movie back then that had any sexual stuff or any nudity, the women in that joint, I was gonna rewind that bad boy.
Rewind it. Like, I'm rewinding.
He said reverse.
I'm watching it.
Yeah. All right. So
like, I'm watching that. Yeah.
All right. So in closing, these films we talked about on this episode told stories that are culturally significant, providing raw, authentic narratives about life in urban, low-income communities, right? They serve as a reflection of resilience, a critique on social injustices, what I'm saying, involved in these movies, a showcase of Black artistry and filmmaking and music, because the filmmaking and the music go hand in hand. The songs that are in the movies play a significant part in, it's the storytelling, as well as outside of the movie on their own. The soundtracks exist. And let's just be honest, some of these soundtracks are better than the movie.
Yeah, facts.
Right.
So, but despite the criticisms that some of these films perpetuated stereotypes and glorified criminality in a lot of people's eyes. So, my parents didn't like them because they were like, it's gang stuff. But we still learn from it, and they have a lasting impact on us as a community, and significant reflection on that specific time and experience in America. For us, when we look at some of those movies again, our minds go back to what we were doing in those times, right? So it's nostalgic for us. But salute to those filmmakers, the actors, and all involved in all those communities during the time when they were shooting. Because also, when I go out to California, I drove through the area where they shot, Boys in the Hood. I drove through the area where they
You can
shot
see all the
Friday and all these
houses and
movies.
stuff.
Yeah. So it was dope to see that these places really exist, right? So that added a little bit more validity to, in my mind, to my experience in the movie. So when I watch them now, I'm like, yeah, I've actually driven down that street before. I've actually seen that house. So very, very dope. But before we get up out of here, Trish Michelle, you got anything you want to tell the people?
I mean, it's Black History Month, so celebrate your Blackness. All I could say is take these movies. I think it was pretty cool that I think you showed us something where the lady was showing all the different Black movies to watch throughout Black History Month, and it's not just Black hood movies and there's all type of different genres that you could pull from to take you on different walks of life and laughters and tears and all kind of stuff. So I mean, if you're gonna engulf in it, just do it now. But also, I say just go ahead and just do it whenever, all the time. Like you said, and just throw it back. If it's been 20 days, 20 years, 10 years, whatever, like watching it back, you always see something different that you missed. We're growing, we're changing, we're exposed to different stuff. Something is relatable again that when we were young didn't even know it was relatable. So yeah, take a dive. And you want to find me on Trisha Michelle _ TM everywhere, all over the place. Yeah. And I recorded my YouTube coming back video. I gotta edit it, so follow me and stay tuned. We up.
Yeah. We're excited about your return to your YouTube channel, man. We can't wait for the dopeness that's about to be out here. So yeah, we definitely gonna be her biggest fans, and we're gonna be posting it all over the place. So just go ahead and be ready for that, y'all.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got big stuff coming your way. All right, Benji Banks, the man of brand. Talk to the people.
Man, listen, I just want to say this. The DVD man, listen, he was very, very, very important to the community. Okay. Them bootleg DVDs was on fire a lot of time. Now, I know the risk. Sometimes I know how you got the DVD, and we understand this. You had to take, a little recorder in there, into the movie. Go to the little $2 joint, $5 movies back in the day, whatever you used to call. Go in there secretly, boom, sit in the back and record the movie. Folks walking all through the movie, you know what I'm saying? But if you got that opportunity to get that DVD when nobody was walking through that joint and nobody was talking, you felt like you got a gem. And we got that because somebody had an innovative thought in the Black community to give you this movie without you having to go and spend all your money. Now, when you went, you was going to spend about $15, $20 on popcorn, if not more. You was going to spend $9 on a 16-ounce cup of soda. And then, I'm just saying.
Back then, I'm like, what you talking about?
I'm just saying, but you catch my drift.
You can go to the movies, $20.
$20,
you got everything you need.
$20 get you everything back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? They gave us this, you know what I'm saying? They risked the their lives and their freedom to give us the bootleg DVDs. So I want to shout out to y'all back in them days, because innovation is always a part of the Black community. I don't care what nobody say. We know how to create stuff out of the dust. And we've always done it. So celebrate this Black History Month, because there's a lot of stuff that we didn't know that we're starting to know now. The first paramedics were Blacks. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot to just kind of decipher and just put out there and learn. And as we learn, you will learn, Black folk, that y'all are some creative Negroes. And can't nobody do it like y'all. Y'all know where to find me. You can find me at the restaurant. You can find me at the beauty supply shop. You can find me at church. If you ain't talking about one of these things, you can find me on the Fiyah Session. You can find me on social media. If you can't reach me in these spaces, you probably don't need to reach me at all, because I ain't hard to find. All right. Y'all pull up on your boy. Trisha Michelle, let me know when you're coming so I can get you this breakfast over here.
Don't worry.
You know what I'm saying? I got your back like a car seat. Let me know so we can get you the 5-star treatment. Bring grandma, never, whoever, whatever.
I'll be there.
Something to put up on. All right. But y'all know where to find your boy at.
All right. Well, before we, totally wrap up, Benji brought up an interesting thing, right? With the bootleg DVDs, and before the bootleg DVDs, there were bootleg VHS tapes. Let's not forget that.
There were.
Right. So, and let me give y'all a little tip. The top tier DVD guys, when they got a clear movie, you know where they were getting those from? The theaters had the DVDs before the public did. So if you knew somebody who worked at the theater, they could get the master copy, and you could make a copy of that copy and return it. So yeah, shout out to my people that was getting us them clear copies. We ain't had copies. Yeah, we ain't had no bootleg. We ain't had no people walking in front of the screen and none of that. We had the real deal, Jack. Shout out to my people. But yeah, y'all can catch me at Big Ken on Fiyah on all social media platforms, or Big Ken on all social media platforms. Just type in one of those two. You're gonna see me pop up. You're gonna see my picture. You're gonna see my little icon. Y'all holler at us. Y'all can catch us next week. We got a whole month full of episodes coming. So you've been rocking with Trisha Michelle, Benji Banks, Big Ken, the Fiyah Session. The fight don't stop here. Catch us next episode with more heat. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. The next episode, which is part 2 of this series during this month, we will be talking about Black classic comedy movies.
Facts.
That's a lot of y'all's favorite category. So I know you're gonna tap in because you talk about the comedies all the time. That's one of my favorite categories as well. So we're gonna have a great conversation, and we definitely gonna be laughing because it's comedies, and a lot of us know those movies line for line. So also make sure you head to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music to check us out there as well, so that when you're out and about and you don't have the ability to look at your phone, or you just want to listen to us on your headphone while you're out and about, you have the ability to do that as well, to get caught up on the episodes. So we got a lot of content out there for that as well. We thank you for your support. Until next time, again, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. It's the Fiyah Session. Stay lit.